Across a million worlds of the Imperium, children are not born to dream. They are born to serve. In the choking hives of Necromunda, they crawl through ash and filth before they can even walk. On death worlds, they learn to kill before they learn to speak. The lucky are taken by the Schola Progenium, molded into soldiers, commissars, and zealots. The unlucky are forgotten. There are no playgrounds in the Imperium, only factories, battlefields, and graves. For in the 41st millennium, childhood is a crime the galaxy cannot afford. This is the story of the horrible life of children in Warhammer 40,000. The words echo across the stars, carved into the bones of a million worlds, a warning, a truth, and a curse. In the 41st millennium, humanity has forgotten what peace even means. Entire generations are born beneath the shadow of endless conflict, their lives consumed by duty to an uncaring Imperium. And among these countless souls, none suffer more than the children. They are born not into comfort or safety, but into servitude, fear, and indoctrination. Their lullabies are the hum of reactors and the wail of sirens. Their toys are the shells of laser guns. Their prayers whispered to an emperor who will never answer. For the Imperium of Man does not raise children. It forges tools. Across the stars lie the hive, worlds, sprawling city-planets that pierce the heavens, stacked in endless layers of filth and smoke. Billions dwell within these labyrinthine towers of steel and rot, and among them, countless children. They are born into darkness. Literally, many never see the sun. Their eyes adapt to dim light, their lungs to poisonous air thick with fumes and dust. Their mothers give birth in metal shanties built from scrap. Their fathers, if they live long enough, work until their bodies break in manufactorums that never sleep. For these children, playtime is a myth. They learn to crawl through vents to scavenge machine parts, to steal water from ration pipes, to avoid the patrols of the enforcers who will beat or shoot them without hesitation. By the age of 6, they are already laborers. Small hands fitting into machines, too, dangerous for adults. By 10, they are gang initiates, sworn to the hive's countless syndicates that control food, medicine, and air. By 12, many are dead, crushed by machinery, consumed by hive diseases, or executed for theft. Yet they are still vital to the Imperium's machine. Each small corpse is easily replaced. Each child that dies in a tunnel is a statistic, not a tragedy. The administratum calls it acceptable attrition. And so the cycle continues. In the lower hive, where light never reaches and the walls drip with chemical waste, children are not seen as future citizens. They are resources. They are expendable labor. Those who survive long enough grow ruthless, clever, and cruel. They form gangs, like the sump snakes, the ash rats, the needle boys, each controlling fragments of the hive's black market. Their leaders are often children themselves, hardened by years of fighting, their eyes reflecting only hunger and hate. Sometimes Imperial recruiters come. The Astra Militarum is always in need of soldiers. Those who can aim a gun, even a child, are valuable. The lucky ones are taken to serve. The unlucky are left behind, to rot in the dark, their names never recorded. Not all children of the Imperium are born in hives. Some come into being on worlds that should not support life at all. Death worlds, planets so hostile that even the soil tries to kill you. Poisonous jungles, acidic rain, predatory plants. Every breath, every step is a gamble. On such worlds, childhood is not a stage of innocence. It is a test. From the moment they can walk, children must learn to fight, to run, to kill. Their parents teach them how to track, how to hide, how to sense danger before it strikes. There are no schools, only scars. No lessons, only survival. In the death world of Catachan, children are taught to handle a blade before they can speak properly. They learn to kill venomous serpents, to sense ambushes from the movement of the leaves. If they live to adulthood, they are considered among the deadliest. Humans in the galaxy, perfect. Material for the Imperial Guard, but most never reach that age. A Catachan child's laughter is often cut short by the bite of a leech, or the strike of a carnivorous plant. Their graves are shallow, their memories forgotten. The Imperium values these worlds only for the soldiers they produce. Children who grow into killers without fear or mercy. To the Administratum, they are assets. To the Ecclesiarchy, they are proof that suffering strengthens the soul. But to anyone who still remembers what humanity once was, they are victims. Not all children of the Imperium are born into poverty. Some are born into war. When Imperial officers die in service, as they so often do, their children are taken into the care of the Schola Progenium. It is a system designed to raise the orphans of the faithful, to forge them into instruments of the Emperor's will. But there is no warmth in the Schola, no kindness, only discipline, indoctrination, and pain. The children live in stone barracks under the eyes of drill abbots and confessors. They are woken before dawn by sirens, forced into hours of prayer, drills, and punishment. Those who cry are beaten. Those who question are broken. By adolescence, their innocence is gone, stripped away through fear and ritual. The most obedient and fanatical are selected to become commissars, tempestus scions, or sisters of battle. Those who fail are sent to the guard or left to serve the ecclesiarchy as menials. The Schola teaches one lesson above all others. Compassion is weakness, faith is survival. And so, a generation of orphans grows into zealots, cold, loyal, and efficient. Their childhood stolen not by hunger, but by devotion. Deep within the crimson forges of the Adeptus Mechanicus, the idea of childhood is an obsolete concept, a biological inefficiency to be corrected. On forge worlds like Mars, Risa, and Metallica, humanity has long since surrendered to the machine. Children here are not raised, they are assembled. The first cries of a newborn are often drowned beneath the hum of plasma furnaces and the chant of binary prayers. Priests of the Omnissiah oversee the birthing chambers not with affection, but with calculation. Each child is a potential cog, a vessel of flesh to serve the great work. From their earliest moments, these children are judged not by their curiosity or laughter, but by utility. Are their hands steady enough for circuit calibration? Are their eyes sharp enough to read sacred schematics? Can their minds hold the weight of logic without emotion interfering? If yes, they are marked for augmentation. If no, they are sent to the labor pits, or offered to the machine god as organic fuel. For the Mechanicus believes the flesh is corrupt. It decays, it suffers, it sins. To be human is to be imperfect, and to be imperfect is to offend the Omnissiah. So from the moment they can walk, these children are made to kneel before the altar of metal and wire. They are taught that their bodies are a burden, that to remove their limbs and eyes is to become pure. They learn the canticles of the machine before they learn their own names. At the age when other worlds' children might play, those of the Mechanicus learn to chant code prayers. Their lullabies are sequences of logic. Their bedtime stories are blueprints of divine engines. Many will never again feel warmth or hunger. Their stomachs replaced with processors, their hearts with synthetic pumps. They grow not into men or women, but into servitors, or worse, into half-flesh priests, whose humanity has been flayed away in pursuit of mechanical perfection. And if they falter, if they question the creed of the Omnissiah, their punishment is swift. Their minds are rewritten, their flesh recycled, their names erased. There is no rebellion among Mechanicus children. Only silence, only obedience. They are raised to believe that love is error, that curiosity is corruption, that pain is purification. The machine god demands perfection, and in the end, perfection leaves no room for humanity. Their worlds are cleaner, their food purer, their beds softer. But make no mistake, they are prisoners all the same. For within the noble houses of the Imperium, childhood is a weapon, a pawn on the board of endless political games, a tool for alliances, betrayals, and power. On Holy Terra, among the towering spires that pierce the clouds of pollution, children of the great houses are born into dynasties older than memory. Their ancestors may have ruled continents or commanded fleets. Their family names are inscribed in the endless archives of the Administratum. But prestige is fragile in the Imperium. Every house has enemies. Every promise hides a blade. And so, from the moment they are born, noble children are surrounded not by love, but by guards, tutors, and watchers. They are fed from silver spoons, but every meal is tested for poison. They play in marble halls, but never without the watchful eyes of bodyguards and servo skulls. They sleep beneath portraits of ancestors whose blood was spilled by rivals or family. At age 5, they begin their education. history, etiquette, strategy, and, above all, obedience. They learn the names of saints, the protocols of the High Lords, the language of lies. They are taught that their worth is measured not in kindness but in influence. By adolescence, they are already players in the endless shadow war of the noble courts. A misplaced word can doom a family. A secret letter can spark an execution. A childhood friendship can become a political liability. For the children of nobility, trust is treason. Affection is weakness. Love is a liability. And when alliances are forged through marriage, they are not asked, they are assigned. Boys are sent to the officio perfectus or the navy. Girls to convents or arranged unions that will strengthen the family's standing. Refusal is unthinkable. Failure is fatal. Some houses attempt to shield their children, but even protection breeds suspicion. For in the Imperium, ambition devours bloodlines as surely as heresy. Behind the grand halls and the stained glass cathedrals, these young heirs grow old before their time, smiling for portraits, bowing to priests, plotting their survival. They learn early that in the Imperium there is no innocence, only hierarchy. And while the children of the poor die in alleys, and the children of the Mechanicus lose their flesh, the noble children lose something just as precious, their souls. They may live longer. They may dine beneath crystal chandeliers, but every one of them knows a truth whispered through the gilded corridors of Terra. Better to die a peasant in the gutter than a noble with a knife at your back. Because in the Imperium of man, even luxury is another kind of prison. There are some children in the Imperium who are not born entirely human. Not by choice, not by sin, but by the silent, invisible hand of the warp. The warp, that seething ocean of madness and emotion, touches all things. It flows through every soul, whispers through every dream, and corrupts whatever it can reach. And sometimes it reaches the womb. Across the galaxy, 1,000 cries pierce the night, the cries of infants born wrong. A flicker in their eyes, a twitch in their minds. Some can hear whispers that no one else can. Others see things that are not there. Some are marked by strange mutations. Tiny horns beneath the scalp, shadows that move when they do not. To their parents, these signs are not miracles. They are death sentences, because in the Imperium, mutation is heresy. Psychers, those who can touch the warp, are both feared and despised. Even the most harmless child, if suspected of being touched, can doom an entire family. In the underhives, these children are abandoned in sewers and sump pits. On frontier worlds, they are burned at birth. On shrine worlds, they are offered to the flames as purification, but the Imperium is pragmatic in its cruelty. It does not waste useful corruption. When the black ships come, vast, silent vessels of the Adeptus Astra Telepathica, they sweep across the stars collecting psychers. Children are among the first taken. They are rounded up by the thousands, ripped from their families, herded into cold metal holds. There, they are sorted like livestock, tested, measured, catalogued. The weak ones die screaming as the warp tears their minds apart. The strong ones survive, only to face a worse fate. Some are sent to the Schola Psychana, trained under watchful sanction to become sanctioned psychers, imperial servants who will burn out their souls in the Emperor's service. Others are shipped to Terra, never to be seen again. In the black vaults beneath the golden throne, countless children are sacrificed every day, their psychic essence drained to sustain the Emperor's failing body. Their screams echo unheard through the ancient halls of the Astronomicon. No name, no burial, only ashes and silence. Those who escape the black ships do not escape the warp. They are hunted by inquisitors, burned by mobs, or taken by darker forces. Because for every psyker the Imperium captures, another is claimed by the ruinous powers. The warp whispers to them, promises them freedom, power, love, all the things the Imperium denies. And in their loneliness, in their fear, many listen, many accept. They become the lost children, servants of chaos, the cursed offspring of humanity, their bodies reshaped by the nightmares of the Immaterium. Some are used as hosts for demons. Others grow into warped monstrosities, their souls devoured before they even reach adulthood. In the end, their choices are all the same. Serve the Imperium and die, serve chaos and be damned, or be hunted by both until the galaxy forgets they ever existed. There are no heroes among the warp touched, only victims, born cursed, used, and destroyed. For the children of the warp, there is no salvation. Only the endless echo of a truth the Imperium will never speak aloud. Even the innocent are not safe from the Emperor's mercy. There are ships in the Imperium that never carry trade. never bring food, never deliver hope. They move in silence, without herald or light. Their hulls painted in void black, their banners unmarked. They are feared across the stars, whispered of in high valleys and noble halls alike. They are the black ships of the Adeptus Astra Telepathica. Every child in the Imperium knows their legend. Every mother prays never to see their shadow fall across her world. For when the black ships arrive, they do not come for the heretic, or the criminal, or the soldier. They come for the children. The Psychers, those born with the spark of the warp in their souls, are humanity's greatest threat and its most vital resource. Left unchecked, a single untrained child could doom a city, summon a demon, or tear open the veil between worlds. But under the Imperium, they are captured, contained, and turned into fuel. The process begins quietly. The astropaths detect psychic anomalies from orbit. Then the sanction collectors descend, black-robed men and women bearing the seal of the Emperor. They enter towns and hives without warning. They carry lists, names of those marked, and among those names there are always children. The scene is always the same, a mother weeping as her child is taken, a father begging for mercy, guards dragging them away while the priest recites hollow prayers. Once aboard, the horror begins. The interior of a black ship is not a vessel. It is a prison. Thousands upon thousands of psychers are packed into the dark, chained in cells lined with warding sigils. The air hums with screams muffled by metal walls. The temperature is cold enough to bite. But it is not the cold that kills, it is despair. Children cling to one another in the dark. Some cry, some pray, some stare blankly, their minds already broken by the warp's whispers. Weeks turn into months as the ship sails through the immaterium. There is no sunlight, no sense of time, only hunger, fear, and the constant droning chant of the ship's choir, sanctioned psychers who keep the demonic tide at bay. Most of the young ones do not survive the journey. They collapse in their cells, their souls consumed or drained by proximity to others like them. Those who endure are changed forever, hollow-eyed, trembling, their humanity stripped away layer by layer. When the black ship finally reaches Terra, its cargo is divided. The strongest are selected for training, their will molded into the weapons the Imperium needs. They will become astropaths, sanctioned psychers, and Imperial servants. Their reward, a lifetime of pain, madness, and eventual death. The rest, the weak, the unstable, the frightened children who cry too loudly or dream too deeply, are taken below. Deep beneath the Imperial Palace, in chambers that have not seen light for 10,000 years, they are brought before the Golden Throne. There they are sacrificed and their psychic energy consumed by the Emperor himself to power the Astronomicon, the beacon that guides all human ships through the warp. Every day, thousands die to keep the Imperium alive. Their souls burn like candles, feeding the dying god who sits immobile on his throne. And among those souls are countless children, innocent, terrified, forgotten. No monument bears their names. No chronicle remembers their faces. But without their suffering, the Imperium would collapse. This is the unspoken truth of the 41st millennium. Every light in the void is powered by a child's death. Every victory of mankind is purchased with a child's scream. And so the black ships keep coming, generation after generation, to feed the endless hunger of the Emperor's throne. They call it duty, they call it faith. But the galaxy knows it for what it is, the quietest genocide in human history. Ada! In a galaxy of 1,000,000 worlds, where every breath is rationed and every prayer costs blood, there are some who do not even have the luxury of being noticed. The Imperium of man is vast beyond comprehension, and in that vastness, countless children simply disappear. They are not psychers, nor nobles, nor heirs to anything. They are the forgotten, the ones who live in the cracks of the Imperium's civilization, beneath the hive cities, between the trenches, within the shadows of broken cathedrals. They have no records, no ident tags, no futures. Their names are not written in the Administratum's archives, because to the Imperium they do not exist. They are the invisible orphans of war. On countless battlefields, when the guns fall silent and the banners burn, these children wander among the dead, scavenging food, looting corpses, hiding from patrols. They are too young to fight, too old to be pitied. Many join the refugee trains that stretch for miles across ash-choked plains, searching for worlds that will never welcome them. Some are caught by slavers and pressed into labor camps. Others are taken by rogue traders sold into indentured servitude on distant worlds. The luckiest are conscripted, handed a laser gun and a ration tin, told that dying for the Emperor will make their suffering meaningful. But there are those who fall further still. In the depths of hive worlds, feral children form tribes. They live in tunnels filled with toxic runoff and the corpses of the forgotten. They worship broken machines, old saints, or nothing at all. Their language fractures into dialects of screams and symbols scratched into the walls. To them, the Emperor is not a god. He is a rumor, a story told to frighten them into obedience. Their faith is survival. Their prayers are for water, warmth, and another sunrise. Sometimes inquisitors descend into these pits. Sometimes ecclesiarchs send missions of mercy. But mercy in the Imperium is just another word for cleansing, and the fires they bring burn the same, whether for heresy or pity. These children die as they lived, unseen. No record marks their passing. No grave holds their bones. Their souls vanish into the warp. One more flicker among billions. And yet in their small, desperate existence, they are the truest reflection of the Imperium itself. A civilization built on the bones of the forgotten. Every hive, every fortress, every ship is held together by those who will never be remembered. And among them, the smallest voices are the quietest screams. Children crying out for a future that will never come. The Imperium calls itself eternal, but even eternity feeds on something, and it feeds endlessly on its young. They are the Emperor's forgotten, and without them, the Imperium could not endure a single day. Ada! To be a child in the Imperium is to be born already condemned. 10,000 years have passed since the Emperor was entombed upon the Golden Throne. 10,000 years of war, faith, and silence. And in that time, billions upon billions of children have lived and died without ever knowing peace. Their faces are lost to history, their stories buried beneath the rubble of a decaying empire. But their suffering endures, not as memory, but as the foundation upon which the Imperium stands. Every factory world hums with the labor of children too small to lift the tools they wield. Every death world births killers before they learn to speak. Every hive spire hides orphans who have never seen the sky. Every black ship carries the psychic screams of the condemned. Every prayer whispered by the faithful is bought with the blood of the young. And still the Imperium calls this duty. Still it preaches that pain is purification. Still it promises salvation that never comes. But beneath all its sermons and banners, a darker truth festers. That the Imperium does not protect its children. It consumes them. For every guardsman who dies on the front line, a child will replace him. For every psyker who burns upon the altar, another will be taken to feed the throne. For every noble heir who dies in a coup, a younger sibling will inherit the burden and the fear. The galaxy is full of worlds where children no longer laugh, where their voices are drowned by the roar of engines, the chanting of priests, the endless thunder of war, where the concept of innocence has become an ancient myth, a story told by the dying to comfort themselves. There are no bedtime stories in the 41st millennium. No fairy tales, no happy endings. Only survival, moment by moment, breath by breath. And yet even amid this endless night, some spark remains. A child hiding in the ruins of a hive city. A young psyker whispering prayers to the Emperor not out of fear but hope. A Mechanicus acolyte who hesitates before replacing her last piece of flesh. Tiny rebellions, invisible acts of defiance, small hearts daring to believe in something better. Perhaps that is the truest miracle in the grim darkness of the far future. Not that humanity survives, but that despite everything, it still tries. But the truth remains unchanged. For every star that burns, 1,000 children perish to keep it lit. For every victory declared in the Emperor's name, a generation is sacrificed unseen. The galaxy turns, uncaring, as it always has. And the children, the forgotten, the broken, the damned, will continue to live and die beneath its shadow. In the grim darkness of the far future, there is only war. And for the children of the Imperium, there is no future at all.